A one-year-old baby has been rescued from a collapsed building in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. The building collapsed on Friday night after heavy rains caused havoc in the country. The little girl, who was emaciated, was rushed to the country's largest hospital. She is now in stable condition. The death toll from the scene stands at over 20 people, and so far 136 people have been rescued. Rescuers say they intend to clear the rubble on Tuesday, as 117 people remain unaccounted for.
Kevin Oduor still can't believe what's happened. It was just after 9 on Friday night. The rains had pounded Nairobi for hours that day. But Oduor thought nothing of it as he bought supper for his 18-month-old boy, and they played a little. Then the nightmare began.
I heard my wife and brother-in-law screaming for help. I helped out my wife first. Then I asked my brother-in-law, who was shielding the boy, if they're okay. He said yes. I then helped him out, and when I reached to pull my son, he was already dead.
Others have similar horrific stories.
I heard a loud bang around 9:15. I ran from 5th floor to downstairs to check, and I saw a huge crack on the floor, and I could also feel the house sway. I went back up to warn the neighbors. Most ignored this, saying it would be repaired. My family just got out in the nick of time. I was about to leave when I felt the ground under me give way.
David Namagwa spent almost 12 hours pinned in the rubble and had expected to die there.
A huge block fell on my back as I tried to escape. About 10 jerrycans full of water lay on my leg. I could not move any further, and after hours in this position, I didn't think I would live. I could hardly breathe and I started coughing. The rescue team got to me the next day at 9 a.m.
Back at the site, heavy drilling is underway as troops help in search for more bodies. Looters have been helping themselves to the belongings. Some families already have lost.
Well, let's return now to our headline story this hour, where a young baby has been rescued from a rubble in one of Nairobi's collapsed buildings. The building collapsed on Friday following heavy rains here in the capital in Nairobi. And let's get more now on the rescue and search efforts that are ongoing at that site at the moment. And I'm joined by Mr. Kioko Kilu of the Kenya Red Cross. Mr. Kioko, thank you very much for joining us now. Welcome. Hopes are fading, though, of finding survivors, but there was hope this morning when that baby was rescued from that building. Though, what can you tell us about the ongoing search and rescue efforts?
Yeah, I think the ongoing search and rescue efforts has been on since Friday afternoon, the night of Friday. Our teams has been on the ground Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, Monday, and today we are now working on shift of 12 hours. A shift is at night, and another team comes during the day. As many would say, that ops were fading as of close of business yesterday, but the search rescue teams are on the ground, and in the wee morning early hours of today, where this baby was found alive. And even to make the news more interesting is that we've got also information that this baby has been urinated with the father as of this morning.
That's very good news, and there's a lot of hope there, though. But how many people still remain unaccounted for from that collapsed building?
We still have 96 open cases as of today that are still remain reported that have not been found. And these are the cases that people have come that my person used to live in this building or close to this building is unaccounted for what we know. So this is the report as far our tracing desk, which is at Ruma CDF all.
We also understand that, of course, that area is quite inaccessible. So what kind of challenges is the Kenya Red Cross facing, though, in their search and rescue mission?
Yeah, I think we also need to get the record straight that this is a Kenya Red Cross rescue operation, and we are jointly working this with the National Disaster Management Unit, the NDMU, the National Disaster Operations Center, NDOC, NYS, the Kenya Police, the military, St. John's Ambulance, all other stakeholders, the members of the community, all other members are in play. But one of the key challenges that is faced by the rescue team on the ground is actually access. For those who know well, Huruma is an estate where there is a lot of story building with less space between them. And the type of collapse we saw here, this is what we call the pancake style of collapse, where the floors come on top of each other. So when you look from afar, it's like a bunch of plates. And that means that we expect high mortality rates, and we are still. So the deployment of heavy machinery has been a challenge in terms of access and how they work, because the only accessible part is the front part of this building. The side is another building, the back side is another building, and then on the left side is a river. So access for heavy machinery has been a major challenge, and so the extrication equipment that has been deployed are actually handheld, and a few tractors and bulldozers that have been able to access.
It has been a very traumatizing time, though, for the families that were living in that building. What kind of assistance now is being given, though, to the families, to the survivors of this tragedy? Yeah,
Kenya Red Cross is on the ground. We are really having 3 teams there. We have the tracing team that is forming the restoration of family links. They are doing the recording and information management, including getting the data of even the dead who has been moved to the mortuaries and trying to come and talk to the request to see whether this could be closed up. We have the second activity on psychosocial support. We have linked up with the Amman counselors and Kenya Red Cross counselors as a team are now on the ground doing one-on-one therapies and also group therapies. Thirdly, we have also assisted the affected and displaced families with the non-food items. We were able yesterday to distribute blankets. We have given them mosquito nets and bar soap. At least they could, with the bar soap, they could move around to the neighboring and friends, and then they can take their showers. Also yesterday in the afternoon, we were able to provide dignity kits, both for the men and the women. You know, dignity kits is where we are looking at simple items, personal items, like toothbrush, toothpaste, some Vaseline, some pads for the women, some slippers, some lassos for, you know, and kikois for men. So simple items, and this is what we are supporting them with.
All right, Mr. Kioko Kilu from the Kenya Red Cross, thank you very much for your insights into that tragedy in Huruma.